from the world I hide into you. I could run. Here you take my hand. One touch to open, one touch to close, one touch to show me. No, all minds are cold. One touch to loosen the hold. One touch to free me. No shadow, darkness, I am falling no more. I never felt like this before. No shadow, darkness, I am falling no more. I never felt like this before. 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 Open my mouth to breathe the words to you. The words just won't come out, so I try. Right on the canvas, built for feeling, emotion persevering inside. It's just one touch to open, one touch to close, one touch to show me. Not all minds are cold. One touch to loosen the hold. One touch to free me from falling down on my from falling down on my just one touch to open, one touch to close, one touch to show me. No, all minds are cold. One touch to loosen the hold. One touch to free me. No shadow, darkness, I am falling no more. I never felt like this before. No shadow, darkness, I am falling no more. I never felt like this before. I never felt like this before. I never felt like this before. I never felt like this before.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome back to our live stream here on Twitch. It's still nice and bright out. Yeah, summer's almost in full swing. Yeah, I'm in all black, per usual. Yeah, welcome back to our live stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Fanafreak, aka Moistmaster Flex. Hope you guys had a good weekend and a good Monday, a good start to your week. I certainly had a pretty dope weekend. We had our warehouse party on Friday with Cats and Boots. Shout out all the homies who came through and played. Young Eric Mark played. We did a little back-to-back from 3 to 4 a.m. Definitely a thick night. I was actually really pleasantly surprised by the turnout because it was Coachella weekend, and I was kind of a little bit worried that, you know, we might have a small turnout, but it ended up being much bigger and pretty packed out by like 2 a.m. So yeah, it was a pretty good night on Friday. Saturday also went to Academy for a little bit. And then Sunday just had some family time and just worked on some mixes. And then today was a good day too. Got the week started off on the right foot. Yeah, hope you guys had a good weekend and good start to your Monday, good start to your week. Let's check out these tunes here. Let's see. Better Off Alone. Is that the tag? Yeah, there you go. My Better Off Alone dub on Yoshbase. That's up for free download. We got Ride from the homie Fox. That's on my label Thick Freakness. We got Rebirth. Volume 3, our spring compilation out on Thick Freakness. We got Maza. That's with Dice and MC Kane on Yoshbase. We got Bender. That's a nice little 140 tune on my label Thick Freakness. We got Daydream, which is a nice collaboration between myself and Ali XO on 3000 Deep. Nice little groovy UK garage tune there. This just came out last week. Fresh Cut Freaks, Volume 4, a bunch of newcomers to the label. And then lastly, but not leastly, we got this upcoming single this Friday, the 18th, with from Phantasm, the homie Phantasm, Tommy Gun. That'll be out this Friday. Definitely go pre-save that. It's a thicky bassline tune. Also, we got plenty more stuff coming down the pipeline. I think I have another free download coming out before the end of the month. I might have another single come out before the end of the month. I'm just waiting to hear back from this label on the release date. But they've been super, super laggy and unresponsive, per usual. You know the drill. But we shall see. And then our upcoming shows. We have a Garage Brunch coming up on April 26th, Saturday, April 26th. That's a daytime event. We'll be going from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. A nice little change from the afters. And then we have our next afters, where we're teaming up with Sub 49 from Seattle. That should be a really, really, really dope night. Definitely looking forward to both of these events. So if you're in LA, definitely come through. They're both free entry. Just all you got to do is RSVP at the links that I put through in the chat. Lastly, here, our sponsor, we got Eargasms. Damn, 2 ads. Yeah, if you guys need earplugs for shows, I would highly, highly recommend you guys get some. You want to protect your ears, protect the money makers, you want to be able to, continue to make music for as long as possible. Damn, you guys got a lot of ads, huh? I'll give you guys a minute. We back. All right. Indeed. All right, yeah, just you all got damn, dude. Twitch really is running it up with the ads. Had to run up my own ad here. Yeah, if you guys need earplugs for shows, just go ahead and grab some. Eargasm.com, use code Phantom10. Get some earplugs for shows. Any hoops. Let's just get moving here. Let's move in. You guys know the deal. If you guys have been here before, these are coming in first come first serve basis. So I'm taking these in the order that I received them. I have not moved these around at all. If I call your name, you will get priority. If you're not here, I'm gonna throw your track to the back of the line. So just make sure you stick around. And if at any point you want to skip the line, you guys can use either your channel points or you can send some monies to the bottom left there. If you guys have to, if you have to like go somewhere, or, if you're in another time zone and you need to go to sleep, totally chill. You guys are more than welcome to skip the line. Entirely up to you guys. Okay, here. Dude, I love that SoundCloud ended up updating their user interface. So it's entirely dark mode now. I fucking love it. I just noticed it this morning too. I was like, hell yeah, brother. We got dark mode now on SoundCloud. Yeah, dude, I fucking love it. Any hoops. Let me just name out the names. Let me just list out the names here. Sorry for in the queue, so you guys know where you're sitting. We got Melko up first. Hubrem, your link was broken, so just FY Izzle if you're here. We got Dame. Whoop. Beach ball. Oh, there you go. Okay, we got CLV, Aerobis, Hardcase, Leonard Ellis, Young Eric Mark, and then Spencer Arnold here. Yeah, and just FYI, these queues tend to go pretty quick because people don't end up showing up, so don't let this discourage you if you're in the back of the line. All right, do we got Melko in the chat? Melko in the chat. Melko going once, going twice. All right, that's a negative from Melko. And then Hubram, your link is broken, so by default you're going to the back, unless you want to resubmit. Well, unless you're here and you want to resubmit. Do we got Dame? Dame in the chat. I'm telling you guys, this might go quick. Dame going once. Dame going twice. All right, that's a negative. Already got 3 soldiers down. CLV. Got CLV in the chat. Bum, bum, bum. I think CLV is here. He just has to say what's up. There he is. All right, we got CLV up first. Aerobis, Hardcase, Leonard Ellis, Eric Mark, Spencer Arnold, and JB. This is interesting. BandLab. I've never heard. Oh, you know what? I have seen a couple people submit through BandLab. It's a very, very interesting. I guess it's basically like a twin of SoundCloud. Very interesting. Anyways, CLV up first. I digress.
Don't tell me no way to save it, that will never end.
fucking love this, dude. Very nice UK garagey vibe, man. Very bouncy, very groovy, very fun. Feels like almost like a summertime type of tune, you know? Hello there. All right, my notes here. Very nice intro. Loving the chords and the vocals. Definitely, you know, they really make the track, man. I think overall, just really good sample selection, really good sound selection overall. Everything really matches and kind of meshes really well together. Really clean mix down overall. Loving the drums. Definitely some solid groove here. I did note here, I think your clap can come up a little bit more. Just ever so slightly, maybe just like a dB and a half. Just so it can kind of slice through the mix a little bit more. The drop is very nice. Loving the kick, really nice chord progressions, and loving the bassline groove. Overall, super solid arrangement. I'm really digging the variations you have here. So I didn't get bored listening to this track at all in the least bit. You do a good job of leading the listener through. Really nice kind of change in energy. You do this little like little fake out after the second 8 bars, going into the third 8 bars, and then transitioning into the drop. So yeah, you get a nice little variation there. Also some nice little vocal variations. Very nice, very well done. I'm loving the processing on the vocal. It feels very like, what's the best word? I don't know. It just feels, you know, thickened up. Like it feels like it's like very front and center, but it also feels like it has like weight to it, which is nice. And I think it's mixed really well with all the other elements too. My only, I guess, besides the clap needs to come up a little bit more, my only other piece of feedback is that I feel like we need some variation on the second drop. The second drop almost feels like copy pasta. Almost like an exact copy of the first drop. So I think an easy way to kind of make a little bit of a variation is you can kind of do like a fake out on the first downbeat of the second drop. It was actually something that I was kind of expecting, honestly. So what I was thinking you were gonna do there was I was thinking you were just gonna play the chords, and then kind of like wash them out with some reverb, and then go into the drop. But instead, you just went directly into the drop. Not necessarily a bad thing. That's what I kind of felt was going to happen, and I think that's something that you could probably implement here. It's a really easy trick to kind of get some nice variation on the second drop. That's one idea. You can also, I guess another idea is to kind of do what you're already doing, but pull out more of your drum elements. So maybe just like the kick, the vocal, and the chords. So maybe more of like a minimal drop. Yeah, dude, I think it's a really cool, easy trick to kind of add in some variation on your second drop. Maybe not something you have to do on every single track, but definitely it's an easy trick to kind of throw the listener off and get you some nice variation. But yeah, that's one thing to do. Or the other way is to kind of just like do a more minimal drop. So basically just kick, bass, chords, and maybe the vocal, and then all the other drums can kind of come in maybe like 4 or 8 bars later. But yeah, just 2 ideas. You can play around with that, see whatever works. But really, that's the only piece of feedback I have. Just some slight variation, and then just turn up the clap a little bit more. Everything else here sounds fucking great. This is a really, really dope tune. Very, very groovy, bouncy. Feels like a summer tune. But yeah, well done, CLV. Super sick. Loving it. Loving the vibes here. All right. Do we got Erebus? I think I said your name correctly this time. Just finished the VIP 2. Hell yeah, brother. Dude, send it over. I want to listen to it. Erebus. Yeah, no problem, dude. All right. Let's jump into your tune here.
click, bang. Click, click, bang.
Nice one, bruv. Yeah, JB, you're number 6 in the queue. You're the only one that sent in Band Lab. But yeah, just make sure you stick around so you get your track reviewed. Yeah, this is a dope tune, man. Definitely has some nostalgic, reminiscent flavors from Future House. I get that. I get that feedback there from the chat saying it. I definitely get the same vibes. Nice one. Yeah, it definitely has some elements of Future House, but definitely a lot of elements from Baseline. Baseline House, Baseline House. Really digging it. Really cool idea. Excuse me. Really solid baseline groove. Digging the kick, loving the perks. Overall, this is mixed pretty cleanly. I didn't see any issues of anything kind of like sticking out. Very nice sub. I'm loving the low end here. Also loving the respace in the break. Very nice use of like playing around with those vocals as well as playing around with the energy. Really huge drop. Really nice bass line. I'm digging this like halftime fake out that you did. I thought it was gonna go full on like halftime, but you ended up just doing it for like a short like 2 to 4 bar phrase, and then you going back into a nice like baseline variation. So that was really sick. I really enjoyed that. Super solid arrangement overall. I think you added some nice variations. So like basically something was changing every 8 bars, which was really nice. Definitely kept things fresh. Then you went into the break. Really nice break beat. I'm a sucker for break beats. And then nice change up on the second drop. I think my only piece of feedback for this track is that I think it needs a more substantial vocal hook. I think the vocals that you have in here are not bad. I think they're good kind of like as a supporting role. They definitely add to the kind of theme and the vibe and the overall tone of what's going on here with the kind of like very bouncy and energetic bass line. But yeah, I think you need something else, something hooky to kind of draw people in. A nice vocal hook. I would probably opt for probably like a strong male vocal on this as opposed to female. Because you kind of already have something going on with that pre-drop.
Click, click, bang.
So, I mean, I don't mind that vocal, but I would like to hear a little bit something else too. So yeah, definitely opt for a male vocal. I think that'll kind of fit the tonality and theme of what you got going on here. This track feels more masculine anyways, so I think having a male vocal would definitely fit better for sure. And it's not bad having those female vocals in there, kind of like as a supporting role either. But yeah, I think my only piece of feedback here is that really I think it just needs a stronger vocal hook. Everything else here sounds fantastic. I think the length of this track is perfect. Arrangement's very solid. Yeah, I think everything else here is pretty well done. Good job, Aerobis. Dope tune. Thanks for sending this over. Hell yeah, brother. All right, we got Hardcase, we got Leonard Ellis, we got Eric Mark, Spencer Arnold, and then JB. Let me see if we got any other submissions that we have to throw into the queue. Right quick. Yeah, we got 2 more here. We got Hugo. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oh, Hugo, your link is broken. So please go ahead and resubmit. Meow, 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 meow. Rias. All right. We got Hardcase up. Let's do it with some house. Didn't you submit some like drum and bass last time? I think it was drum and bass because I remember the chat wanted to replay it. They wanted like a rewind. Chat loved it that much they wanted to rewind, which is, you know, high praise. All right. You're all over the place. Honestly, I think that's a good thing. You know, if you can play around with multiple genres, I think that's definitely a good thing. It's a kind of a testament to your abilities, and it's kind of cool because you can kind of mesh and mold, you know, your tracks to kind of fit other genres, other styles. Take little bits and pieces out from other spots, you know. Any hoops, I'm gonna stop yapping. Let's listen to this tune. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, I really don't need your guys' full names. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, the reality is like I made this form a long time ago. Artist name, real name. Maybe I just want to know who you guys are, you know? Instead of your artist names, your superhero names, you know? Yeah, but the reality is I made this form a long time ago. Probably like at least like 2 years ago, so it's just a relic, I suppose. Yeah, this was dope, man. Loving the vibes here. Some like I guess it's like more like along the lines of like progressive house, maybe even close to like big room. It's like progressive slash big room house, which is really dope. Very cool melodic stuff going on here. Arpeggios, really nice. Just really nice synth lines overall. Um, really nice arpeggio. Loving the sound selection here. Really cool melodic ideas. I put here feels like progressive house. I will find you and I will kill you. The drops are really dope. The kick is huge. What I'm getting here mostly from the mixdown is I'm getting mostly drums. Um, Mostly drums. I feel like the your synths and your melodic elements are kind of subdued and being low passed a little bit too much. We're not getting too much high end. And my presumption, my what I'm thinking the reason why you did that is because you're eventually going to put some sort of vocal in there, which would make sense from a mixing standpoint, what the way you have it right now, because you have those synths kind of are much more open in your breakdowns and your buildups. So like, but in the drops they're much more subdued. So yeah, that's what I presumed. I kind of figured that you're this is kind of just like the instrumental version of the track, and then you were gonna get some sort of vocal in there. Um, so that makes sense from a mixing standpoint. That totally makes sense to me. So yeah, I would say just keep doing what you're doing there. That was gonna be my other piece of feedback is I would hope that this track definitely lends itself to a more kind of like airy and breathy female vocal. So yeah, definitely try to kind of find something that kind of matches that. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but that's kind of what I'm hearing in my ears, my earballs. Um, I'm definitely hearing some sort of breathy, airy kind of female vocal here. Um, I also put here, I feel like the clap tonality feels a little bit off. So my suggestion is either to kind of pitch it down a smidge or just replace the sample. I think the right now the clap tonality feels a little bit off for this track. So yeah, just something to think about. Um, I do love the arrangement overall is fucking beautiful. I love it. Oh, okay. Let's give that a second then. Excuse me. Ba-da-ba-dum. Ba-ba-da-bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Un minuto. Italian ads? You prefer French ads? I mean, isn't Italian your native tongue? Okay. Um, Back to what I was saying here. Like I mentioned, definitely try to get a female vocal in there. The clap, I would recommend kind of um, tuning it down a smidge. pitching it down a little bit or replacing the sample because I feel like the clap kind of doesn't fit the tonality of the track. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm loving all the main synth melodies. I think everything plays really nicely with each other. And I think this arrangement overall is super solid. I think once I mean, it sounds like you've already have, yeah, I hate the clap sample. I think it sounds like you already have like an idea who you're going to send this to do vocals, but this is actually like a really strong foundation for them to work on. So yeah, definitely good job on that. But yeah, that's about all I got to say about that. Very well done. Digging the vibes here. Hard Case. Definitely a departure from the drum and bass we heard last time, but okay, you're good. I think we have 2 more tracks. I mean, 1 more track until you anyway. So, all right, we got the man's Leonard Ellis up next. Let's do it. Nice one, bruv. Definitely that classic Leonard Ellis wonky type of tech house. Really cool melodies here. Loving the sound selection. All the sound design is really, really cool. Very nice kick. Very thick kick here. That was something that was very consistent throughout the entire track. Really cool perks and drums. Really like interesting kind of fills. And yeah, really nice, interesting fills. Really groovy bass line. That's something that they're pretty good about doing, and including into your tracks. Interesting sound selection, very wonky, very typical Leonard Ellis style. This track could definitely use a vocal hook. It feels like you're definitely kind of telling a story here, but like without a main driving hook. I think that would definitely elevate it, you know, having some sort of, you know, catchy sort of phrase, something to kind of draw the listener in, would definitely help here. Because the reality is it's a very strong foundation to begin with. You have like some really cool melodic ideas as well as some really cool ear candy. So it doesn't feel like this track's like empty, really, but it definitely has space for a strong vocal hook, I think, to kind of, you know, drive the idea home. Okay. Very solid arrangement overall. I think this is a perfect kind of length for, you know, this style of track, this kind of like tech house. I like the variations. You definitely keep things interesting. But again, I think a vocal will definitely kind of elevate that as well. And then one other thing that I noted here is that your main open hat kind of feels like it gets lost in the mix. It needs to be a little bit more crispy and probably be turned up a little bit more. You can kind of tell there it's kind of getting overshadowed by a lot of the other kind of synth elements here. Yeah, see if you can find something that fits. I mean, at the end of the day, you could even, you know, I always recommend you can always try using your own vocals. That's always the thing you could try. But if that's something you want to do, there's tons of vocalists out there that'll just do like a short little hook for you. But yeah. Do. All right, nice one, bruv. Nah, your English is fine, dude. I totally understand you. All right, young Eric Mark, you're ready. Who's ready? Let's do it. Wagwan. Hell yeah, brother. I don't know if Tour Room has a deep label. That's definitely something to look into. But yeah, dude, I'm digging the fucking vibes here. Definitely feels like a tune I'd hear at like a Zara or something, and I mean that as high praise. Because Zara always has fucking banging deep house kind of grooves. I would hear this at like a Zara or a fucking pool party. Um, yeah, it definitely has that kind of style, that deep house kind of style to it. Yeah, very solid tune overall. Really nice intro. Digging the chords. Very nice filtering in the intro as well. We kind of do a great job of introducing all of the elements and bringing them in slowly, kind of teasing them in. Very nice kick. Overall, very good sample selection. Nice crash. Really dope vocals. Nice change up in the break sections. Obviously, like in I guess the intro as well as in the actual drop, you're kind of using a more simplified version of the chord progression, but it's very nice to kind of hear the full chord progression in these breaks. It's a nice kind of change up. Yeah, and it's complemented very well with that bass line as well. So I think that's very well done. Loving the drop. Um, Loving the drop here. Does it feel too loopy? I don't think it feels too loopy because I think you do a good job of like adding in some filtering and then also introducing new layers. So because like I hear like the addition of like a string as well as some rides, and then some nice like vocal variation. So I don't think it gets loopy really. Um, yeah. Um, I do hear, as far as mix wise, I think as far as sound selection and arrangement wise, I don't think anything really needs to change. It would be cool, like I said, to maybe do like a fake out on the second drop. I think that would be a cool idea. Um, but the only thing I'm like really hearing is that there's a little click on the clap. So does feel a little, there's like a little click, a little pop. Yeah, there's just like a little thing there. I don't know what it is. Just it could just be like a artifact from some sort of audio in there. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like it might be the clap. Yeah, just I would say just investigate it. It's something probably that's like an easy fix. Um, really nice drum fills. Overall very solid drum selection. Very solid arrangement. Yeah, I think that's really the only thing I heard is really just the clap, and it would be cool if you could try and do a little bit of a fake out in the second drop. But overall, very solid tune, very vibey. Could definitely hear this at like a pool party or in a Zara. Yeah, this is vibes right here. Well done, very well done tune. Yeah, Zara, Zara. Yeah, the clothing store, Zara. Zara is very well known for having like deep house, like vibey deep house like this. Yeah. All right, let's keep it going here, guys. Actually, I did get a couple more submissions, so let me throw these in here. We got one from Silver Eyes. Bing bong. Wago, I don't know if you resubmitted because your link was broken. Bomb. Oh, we got another broken link. What's up with you guys sending all these broken links, man? Okay. This is a new one. What's this? I don't even recognize this website. Very interesting. Yeah. Surprised you haven't seen Zara pop up on social media. All right. So this is what we have so far. Juego, Lil Anthill, and Hubram. All your links were broken. Just FYI. If you guys want to resubmit, you guys are more than welcome to. That's on you guys. But here's who we got. We got Spencer Arnold up next. We got JB after that. We got Reyes. I don't know who this is, but this is your tune. And Minkus. Yeah, just FYI, if just stick around if I called your name, and we will get your tune listened to. All right, let's do young Spencer Arnold here. Nice one, bruv. I'm assuming this is still a work in progress, correct? Yeah, okay. I kind of figured. Um, yeah, I think the idea itself, like the seed of the idea, foundational idea, is very strong. I think this definitely, obviously, I think this needs a little bit more development to it. Um, but I think the main idea is very strong. I'm loving the drums. Solid bassline groove. Loving a lot of the ambient elements as you have here. Adds a nice little kind of mood and theme here. Nice introduction of the toms. The toms are not a element that I typically hear a lot of, but it's cool when they are used and they are used to great effect. I think you do a good job of using the toms here. I'm loving the drop. It's very energetic and very big. That main lead is super cool. I love the main lead, that mid bass. Very nice progression too. The vocal is cool. I really like the vocal, but I would introduce it earlier in some capacity just to kind of tease it in and kind of get the listener sort of um, familiarized. But definitely kind of do it in a manner that doesn't kind of make it stale, because it's a very repeatable kind of loopy sample, so that might get old very quickly. That's just something to kind of be mindful of. It sounds like it's a short phrase of a. I mean, it sounds like it's a short sample of a much larger phrase. So maybe use like the longer phrase in the break section, and then use like the shorter kind of hooky part in the drops. Um, yeah, it's something to consider there. Definitely try to introduce it sooner. The first drop definitely feels short. It sounds like you're definitely still kind of working on the overall length of this track. Both drops do feel short. It feels like they're only really like 8 to 16 bars. Definitely consider pushing that out to um, 24 or 32 potentially, just depending on how. I mean, 24 at the minimum. I tend to make like 32 bar long drops. That's just my style. That's what I like. That's what I enjoy. That's what I enjoy doing. Um, 24 is also very good. I think, especially to kind of get more of like a quick hit type of idea. 24 is very good. Um, I think 16 is way too short. It doesn't really get the listener enough time to kind of just like ride out and vibe. Just my personal opinion. Uh, Digging the second break. You add in some nice new elements. Kind of let the main melody kind of ride out a little bit more. And then you do a fake out on the second drop. Definitely cool idea. And the second drop could definitely use some more vocals in it. Again, I think obviously you're kind of just still fleshing this idea out. This is definitely very whippy. Um, but yeah, definitely something to consider is to keep the vocal kind of riding out on that second drop. And maybe add in some other sort of element on the second drop to kind of give it a little bit more energy, kind of differentiate it from the first drop. But overall, I think the main idea here is very strong. It's definitely worth developing. So yeah, my main piece of feedback is just keep doing what you're doing. Um, we definitely need more length though on both drops. Some more variations, some more energy. Yeah. But yeah, digging the vibe so far. Very good job, young Spencer Arnold. Dope tune here. Hell yeah. Do 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 do. Hell yeah. All right, do we got JB? JB, then Reyes, then whoever this is. Okay. Oh, Silver Eyes. Minkus, and then I don't know if you guys want to resubmit. Yeah, I mean we could play it if you got time. All right, so we got JB in the chat. JB was here earlier. Do 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 do. Oh, yeah. Let me see. I could refresh it, but yeah, your track isn't working. Some burrito donations. I'm always happy to take burrito donations, man. I'm not gonna say no to that. Do ba do boo do. Do we got JB? JB going once. JB going twice. All right. Looks like JB's not here, unfortunately. Back of the line for you. We got Reyes. Lots of S's there. Reyes. Reyes. Excuse me. Reyes. Reyes going once. Going twice. All right. No Reyes. Do we have Silver Eyes? Silver Eyes. I believe that's you. Topher Cardinals. Silver Eyes. Ugh. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Silver Eyes. Do we got Silver Eyes? Silver Eyes going once. Silver Eyes going twice. All right. Oh, I almost skipped you, dude. Good thing you said something. All right, let's do it. Nice one, bruv. Definitely has that kind of old school 8-bit sort of Super Nintendo sort of vibe. Yeah, definitely. It's always nice to hear something a little bit out of the ordinary. We tend to get a lot of, dance music in here, house, a bit of techno, a bit of mid-tempo, a little bit of drum and bass, a little bit of dubstep. So it's always nice to get a little something that's kind of out of the ordinary. Sega Genesis, man. I haven't heard that name in years. Fucking Sega Genesis. Yeah, it gives me kind of that vibe of Sonic the Hedgehog. Damn. Oh, with the Sonic the Hedgehog emoji. Nice. Yeah, it definitely gets me that vibe. So like, I guess from that standpoint, I mean, this sounds fucking great. I don't know what exactly are you gonna use this for? Is this something that you're gonna pitch to like video games, or it's just something that you just did for fun, or like I'm curious because I'm kind of curious where you're kind of gonna end up using this tune. Oh, you're making a game. That's fucking sick. That's super cool. What platform? That's very interesting. What platform's the game going to be on? Ah, PC. That's super cool. Bro, I'm trying to play the game. Yeah, dude, that's super cool. I'm digging that. There's a demo out right now. I'm digging the vibes here. I think it's a really cool idea. I think it's very easy to listen to, especially with that in mind that it's going to be for a game. It's not distracting, so you know it's something that you would play in the background, and it definitely has this kind of vibe and this feel to it. It's definitely something that's very loopable, which I think is exactly what you want. I think from a mastering standpoint, probably the only piece of feedback that I have is that it does sound like it's a bit over compressed, so it does get a little bit too distorted. I think some of that is done on purpose. Obviously, it sounds like you're kind of crushing this a little bit, but maybe I would just say dial back on the distortion just a little bit, because it almost sounds like it's getting too squashed and too crunchy. So maybe, yeah, if I don't know if it's compression or if you're just like doing a little bit too much bit crusher, either or, I would just say just dial back just ever so slightly. Not compressed at all, yeah. So it might just be the bit crusher that you're using. That's just how this sounds. That's how the samples sound. Well, then I digress. I take that back. Then, if it's not an issue of processing, it's just the samples. Then I guess it just is what it is. It just is what it is, man. In that case, I mean, if that's what you're going for, I have no issue with it. I think it works definitely for that, for the environment in the medium that you're going to be using it for. For a video game, I think this is perfect. Yeah, this is cool. Trio Triado. That's cool. Yeah, it's really cool though. Good job, Silverize. Really solid. Dude, that's really cool that you made a fucking video game. And you're making the music too, which is, that's super talented. Hell yeah. All right. Now we got the man Spencer Arnold again. He submitted some monies to jump the line. This is the VIP of Mercy. I guess this is going to be coming out next month on Thick Freakness. Let's give this a listen here.
Move your body towards me, baby. Let our energies meet. Too good to believe. You're impressive, I'm obsessed, yes. You're impressive, I'm obsessed. God have mercy on me. God have mercy on me. God have mercy on me. You're impressive, I'm obsessed, yes. You're impressive, I'm obsessed, God have mercy on. I don't need a conversation. I just need your confirmation. I don't need a conversation. I just need your confirmation. You're impressive, I'm obsessed, God have mercy on. Impressive. You're impressive. God have mercy on me. God have mercy on me. You're impressive, I'm obsessed. God have mercy on me. God have mercy on me. Too good to believe.
Nice one, brava. Nice one, bruv. Dude, fucking sick, man. It looks like the chat loves it too. What I really love most about this track is it definitely carries the essence of the original. If you guys haven't listened to the original, definitely listen to the original. It definitely holds on to, obviously the vocal is like the main part, but it definitely has a lot of those kind of main mid basses that you have from those mid bass donks that you have from the original. Boom, 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 boom. But we're getting a nice like variation on the bass line with those subs. Really cool. Loving the intro. You do a good job of introducing all the elements, really cool melodic elements that kind of come in the background. Those are definitely like new additions for this VIP. Loving the drums. The drums seem a little bit more minimal, but I think that's actually great because it kind of lets, everything else. It's basically just there to kind of hold the rhythm and the groove together. Nothing like too crazy or out there. And I think that's really well done. Sound selection, sample selection is very well done. Loving the drums, really thick low end. I think the arrangement here is super solid. Wouldn't change a thing on the arrangement. Crazy sound design. I'm loving the sound design, loving the subs. Really nice call response stuff going on. Obviously the vocal is the star of the show here. I do think that the vocal maybe can come down ever so slightly in the mix. Right now it's definitely very front and center, which isn't obviously a bad thing. I think it needs to be front and center, but I think it just needs to come down just ever so slightly. Maybe like a dB, 2 dB at most, but definitely just come down a smidge. There's also a little bit of vocal hiss on it too. Something on the top end there. So maybe a de-esser, or I don't know, maybe you just put too much saturation on it. But definitely something to consider. I'm loving all the pitches, the vocal pitching and then variations. Something really cool that I noticed is right before the second drop, you did like this something like a pitch down and you kind of like looped it, which is really cool.
Need your confirmation. You're impressive, I'm obsessed, God have mercy on.
Yeah, you let that me kind of ring out, but it was like it almost sounded like a fucking crow, dude, which is really cool. Really cool effect there. Nice little loopy guy there. What else did I put here? The only other piece of feedback that I have is that the main hi-hat, I think it probably come up a smidge. I do hear it, but it definitely kind of feels like it's a little bit more tucked in. um, throughout the track. So maybe it could come up like a dB or two.
You're impressive, I'm obsessed, yes. You're impressive.
I think it just needs to come up ever so slightly, just so it can be a little bit more audible. It's a very cool sounding hat too. Definitely feels a little bit more tinny, but I think it kind of fits the overall style and kind of theme you're going for here. Yeah, this is a dope one, dude. It's definitely going on the compilation. Just like some little tweaks here and there. I'm loving it. Good job, young Spencer Arnold. Dicky VIP tune. I'm loving it. Hell yeah, brother. Good job. All right. Yeah, just let me know when you got it ready. I want to try and put it on the next thickness mix. I think I'm going to record it either Wednesday or more than likely Thursday. So hopefully if you can get it over before then, that would be lovely. That would be great. Fantastic. We got Minkus and we got Juego. Let's see if we get anybody else in here. Looks like these are the last two submissions. I don't know if these other guys are here, if they wanted to get their music or listen to, but yeah. If you guys end up showing up, we'll take a listen. All right, let's do Minkus and then Juego. Minkus first.
Kill anything, anywhere, anytime. When I first 15 this, I'm gonna show you some of the working sound, and radical. Yeah, check them out, you know.
Get your get.
Killer.
Nice, dude. What a fucking fatty of a tune. Even just as an early whip, man. This idea is insane. I fucking love it so far. Bass click clat. Did you submit something today? Bass silicat cult. Bass silicult. I don't know. I'm fucking basilicult. Minkus. Marie Eidolon. That makes it way easier. Did you submit something today? Because I didn't see anything in the... Oh, just on a break from work. Okay, for sure. Well, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. I'm loving the vocal here. The intro vocal, even though it's more of like just like a kind of like a background thing, it's really cool. It's not even like the main driver, but I think it works really well.
Kill anything, anywhere, anytime. When I first 15 this, I'm gonna show you some of the working sound, and radical. Yeah.
It might be cool to like reuse some parts of that long phrase in either the drop or, you know, if you can get into 97 sound clash video. Nice. I mean, obviously you're going to keep developing this out. I think it obviously needs like a full arrangement to it. It sounds like you have two very solid kind of drop ideas. And I'm assuming you're kind of just going to drag this out and kind of go a little bit more crazy with it. But I think the foundation here is strong as fuck. The idea is super solid. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't particularly, you know, I don't really have a massive affinity for bass music. But for something like this, I really fuck with. Definitely has more of kind of like a UK style, which I fuck with UK stuff really heavily. If you listen to my music, you will understand. Yeah, the concept is absolutely there. I think it just needs to be developed out more, kind of dragged out further. Obviously, you have two very solid drop ideas. Definitely, we could get another sort of break section, build section. You could probably even do 3 drops off of this. I'm assuming you probably have more ideas for this. So really, like, my main piece of feedback is definitely just develop this out further, make a longer arrangement, and kind of like play around with the energy a little bit more. Very nice kick. I think all the sound selection, the sample selection is all very well done. Sound design is fucking crazy, especially on that second drop. Yeah, if you want to send a track, absolutely feel free to. Very minimal, very dope drops. I did note here that the pre-drop vocal is a smidge loud.
Get.
That one right before the first hit at like 13 seconds. It's a smidge loud. I think you could bring that down a little bit more. Very solid swing and groove, and I put the second drop is fucking wild. I literally wrote that right here. Second drop is fucking wild. But yeah, overall, very solid idea. My main piece of feedback is basically just to develop this out further, because it's a very strong idea. Hell yeah, brother. Good job, Minkus. Very dope tune. All right, we got Juego up next. I think this is, unless I get another submission, and this is going to be the last one here. Do. Nice one, bruv. Really solid groove here. The bass line is pretty much like the star of the show here. It's doing a lot of the legwork. But I think that's kind of what you want for this, style of house. It feels like it gets too repetitive. I'm all out of ideas. I can see that. Yeah, it does get a little bit repetitive. I think one thing that you do really well is you have a lot of these really cool ear candies that are kind of breaking up a little bit of the repetition. What I would recommend to kind of break up more of that repetition is adding in a secondary melody. It seems like you have space in your mix for something on the top end. So you can, either find some sort of sound on the top end that can kind of either follow your current, main motif, main melody, or do some sort of counter melody that's going to play really well with your main bassline melody. Boop 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 boop. Yeah, it's something kind of boopy, Get where I'm coming from. I did put here the pre-drop of the first drop is a little bit anticlimactic. So something like that is actually not a bad idea. I wouldn't do it on the first drop, only because on the first drop you kind of just want to like dive right in and give the listener, pretty much everything, the main idea. You want to just kind of hand the main idea to the listener right off the outset. I think it's really good to use it like you have over here on your third drop. Yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea. I would pull it out of the first pre-drop and keep it here on this third pre-drop. But on this first one, you definitely kind of just want to, build up the energy, do like a small kind of like, 2-bar, 4-bar pre-drop, and then dive right in, dive right into do the damn thing. Yeah, you can also play around with more energy in the builds. Maybe just some, I don't know, I think it sounds like you already have risers in here. Maybe. Never mind, I take that back. I think you're good on the risers and the energy. But yeah, just I would say just kind of shorten that pre-drop section is all I would do there. Loving the drop, really solid bassline groove. I'm loving all the ear candy and the sound selection. I think you did that really well. You picked a lot of like really cool ear candies and other ideas that kind of match the theme you got going on here. I think your main hi-hat can probably come down a smidge in the mix. Oh, okay. Let me know when it's done. When it's done. I'm going to go pee real quick. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Sorry, I had to go pee real quick. As I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, I think the drops are very solid, really solid groove, really cool ear candy. I think you did that really well. That kind of helps break up the repetition. But I think some other things to help break up the repetition. Obviously, I already mentioned an additional melody or counter melody. Another easy way to kind of break up repetition is adding in some secondary drums. Something that I always do that's really easy is adding in shakers or a tambourine. That'll kind of add another little kind of element to kind of keep the groove going. I did mention that the main hi-hat can kind of come down a smidge in the mix. I think it's a little bit too loud. It might also be a too long of a sample. I think you might be able to shorten that hat ever so slightly. Yeah, I would shorten it a little bit. It's a little bit long. Same thing goes for the fill snares. You have these snares that are acting as like a fill, a drum fill. I do like them, but I think they're maybe have a little bit too much low end on them. A little bit too much low end, and yeah. I think you can probably chop off a little bit more of that low end, because it does get a little bit more boomy in that low mid section. What did I put here? Nice change up on the second drop. I think you did a good job of kind of introducing new elements into each subsequent drop. So, you know, kind of break up some of that repetition. I do like the arrangement. I do like the idea of having 3 different drops here. But yeah, I think the main thing is like to kind of break up that loopiness. I would add in some additional drum layers, shakers, tambourines, rides are always good ideas. And then, you know, some other sort of melody to kind of break up some more of that repetition. That's really the main pieces of feedback I got for you. I think that's what an odd question. Is it weird to eat cucumber, lettuce, onions, and chili pepper in a salad to lose weight? I don't think that's weird at all. And in fact, I think it's really good to have variety. If we're gonna talk about health and fitness right now, dude, I'm totally down, man. I'm a fucking nerd for that shit. Nutrition. Really, like the best way to lose weight is, you know, it's a very simple formula: calories in, calories out. You want to make sure that you're maximizing your protein intake, stay away from carbs as much as possible, and get some bulk maybe. Well then, yeah, you're coming to the right place. So, eat more protein, eat less carbs, stay away from sugar, stay away from alcohol. Greens are always a good. Yeah, intermittent fasting definitely helps. I typically do like a 14 to 16 hour fast every day. So I have a pretty short eating window. Definitely get some compound lifting movements in: squats, bench press, deadlifts. If you can do them, pull-ups. If not, just do pull downs, weighted pull downs. Yeah, try and get at least 3 lifts in per week, I think, and it doesn't hurt to get your steps in. I would say a minimum 10,000 steps per day if you can. But that's just me. I think 10,000 steps is a really good, solid benchmark to start with. I tend to go upwards of 12 to 14,000 a day, but 10,000 is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I think those are all very solid. Okay. We're going to do Marie Eidolon's tune and then Jelly next. Let's get it.
I
Eidolon. Fucking thicky ass tune here. You know, like maybe the picture kind of influenced me, but like when it first started, I was already getting like Blade Runner vibes just from like the sound selection, like the stuff you picked as like ambient environmental stuff. I was like, hell yeah. Definitely has like this kind of dystopian future kind of vibe to it. Sound selection, sound design is fantastic. Loving the overall theme and vibe you got going on here. The vocal is amazing. I love the vocal. It has a nice kind of tonality, kind of flavor to it. Yeah. Seawall. Oh, the seawall. Dude, I love Blade Runner 2049. Fucking Denis Villeneuve, dude. Fucking kills it. Yeah. What a fucking great movie. It's definitely one of those that I rewatch pretty frequently, along with the actual OG Blade Runner. Yeah. Overall, very solid vibes here. I'm digging. The arrangement's very nice. Sound selection's great. Sound design's fantastic. Loving the groove here that you got going on with the mid-tempo. Very nice energy throughout the tune. I think probably my only piece of feedback is probably going to be just vocal processing. It feels like there's almost too much reverb on the vocal. I would have liked a little bit more dryness to it. So maybe you can just do a parallel kind of processing where you have a little bit more dry. You have like two layers, one a little bit more dry, one a little bit more wet, and kind of play around with the two. Just because I want to be able to hear the vocal a little bit more clearly and have a little bit more presence, because it has a nice like tonality to it, and it feels like, you know, it would almost be a shame to not actually kind of like, I do like pick up little words here and there, but to kind of like hear the entire kind of phrase and lyrics, I think would be even better. So basically that's really the only piece of feedback that I got. Oh yeah, if you can make it clear without making it drier, hell yeah, fucking do that too. I am totally cool with that. That's really the only piece of feedback I have. Everything else here sounds fantastic. I wouldn't change anything else here. Good job, Marie Eidolon. Super dope tune. Love it. Sick vibes. Blade Runner 2049 vibes. All right, I guess this is going to be our last tune of the night. Oh, you want to submit some music? Do we got Jelly still here? Is Jelly in the chat? Jelly, Jelly, Jelly. Jelly, Jelly, Jelly. Jelly is here. All right, let's give this tune a listen. 3 years ago. Oh, this is already released? Well, Jelly, since this is already released, I can't really give feedback on this. If you want to submit another track that's unreleased, I would be happy to play it. But since this is already released, I can't play it, unfortunately, because I can't do anything for you. It's already out in the world. You can submit another one. I'm happy to take another tune if you want to submit something that's unreleased. All right, you want to take feedback anyways? Okay, we can do that. I am happy to do. Hell yeah, dude. This is really fucking cool. It's like almost like, well, it's like left field bass basically. If I had to like kind of throw it into a genre, which is like the most ungenre sounding genre, left field bass. I'm digging a lot of the sound selection and sample selection here. I think everything, it almost, it kind of feels like a lot of like really random sounds, but oddly enough, everything kind of like really meshes really well together. I'm loving the intro, really cool pluck lead. Intro feels very calming and soothing, especially with those like flute samples. Almost feels kind of cinematic. So like when the drop comes in, it's almost like completely unexpected. I was not expecting that drop with that sort of intro. So I think that's really cool. Loving the low end. I feel like, okay, I put here sort of psychedelic with that flute sample still playing. So you get the flute sample kind of like as like your kind of underbed foundation of the track, but you have all these kind of like really wonky and random ear candy stuff going on. But it doesn't feel like it's out of place. It doesn't feel like it's too weird and out there. It feels like it's like supposed to fit there, which is really cool. I really dig the sample selection. Overall, very solid arrangement. I like that there's 3 drops here. They're all very different from each other. I'm liking the variations through each subsequent drop. You do a good job of playing around with the energy between your break sections, your builds, and then going into the drop. Really, the only thing that I noticed in this track is just kind of like a really strange change in dynamics right here, and you can kind of see that little peak, that random peak. Kind of feel like it gets louder for no reason, and then kind of dips back down. You know what I mean? Am I just a fucking weirdo? It does feel like it just gets louder, but it's really just an extended kind of build. So obviously that trick, I think if that's like a intentional thing, I feel like that should be saved more for like the pre-drop as opposed to halfway through the break build section. You know what I mean? Because dynamically, it kind of feels like you're leading us into something, but it doesn't really pay off, if you get my meaning. Yeah. You try to do a fake drop. If that's the case, then if you're leading into a fake drop, you have to I think you have to pull out more drums in this section, just so that it feels like a fake drop. Yeah. I don't know. I think that section right there just needs to be finessed a little bit more. If you're trying to do a fake drop, yeah, it just needs to kind of feel like that a little bit more. So yeah, I think that's really the only thing that I noticed. Everything else here sounds fantastic. I think it's a really cool idea, very experimental, very wonky, very unique. Really cool sample selection. Very well done, Young Jelly. Sick tune. All right, this is going to be the last tune of the night here from AJ Skells.
Got the time. I've been locked up in the studio all goddamn night. I'm way too picky. I said that bitch on my tie. I'm so high, I'm a flight risk. Smoking on that type shit, bro. You gotta try this. Nocturnal where the night is. That's when they get quiet. Demons out of sight. I told bro smoke a backwood for the occasion. You not doing shit if you just stay in. You don't gotta make sense to make sense. You don't gotta sense to make. I told bro smoke a backwood for the occasion. You not doing shit if you just stay in. You don't gotta make sense to make sense. You don't gotta make sense to make. Pull up to the party late, the vibe is gone, I'm sad as fuck. She be blowing up my phone, I'm like, girl, why you mad as fuck? Why you so goddamn good at being bad as fuck? Ballin' every motherfucking season, getting stats up. Nobody on my team is RP and you not toe tagging us. I was popping shit out of Acura, riding in the trunk, packing back to front. I'ma keep it blunt, I don't give a fucking. When you left, I lost all my love. Pouring it deep inside my cup. Little gone for a couple months. Doing nothing, now it's too much. Told her make up her mind to fuck us up. You switch to that side, and now you fucking stuck. You wish you could come back, but we ain't accepting none. I'm in this fucking bitch until I go dumb. I told bro smoke a backwood for the occasion. You not doing shit if you just stay in. You don't gotta make sense to make sense, yeah. You don't gotta make sense to make. I told bro smoke a backwood for the occasion. You not doing shit if you just stay in. You don't gotta make sense to make sense, yeah. You don't gotta make sense to make.
Nice one, bruv. Yeah, really cool. I don't listen to a whole lot of hip hop myself, but I think this is really well done. Yeah, really digging the sample selection. Really cool guitars. The guitars was like really, it felt random to me, but it definitely felt like it worked. The guitars, the really cool strings. I love the strings. The strings are basically like the main melody here. Loving the low end. Absolutely. Definitely some nice thickness on the low end there. The vocal is very cool. I think the songwriting and the lyric kind of writing is very well done. Digging the vocal and the vocal tonality. Really good job on doubling up the vocal on the chorus. Definitely makes it, easy on the listener to kind of tell which section is which, with that doubling effect. Overall, it was really easy to listen to because you had some really nice variations, especially with the drums. We saw some nice like change ups. You can see right here and right here, nice change ups. So didn't feel stale, didn't feel like repetitive. Definitely nice, very well written on a songwriting standpoint. And I love that the guitar makes a reappearance at the end. That's something that I was thinking about while listening to this. I was like, oh, the guitar's there, and like I didn't hear the guitar at all through the main section of the track, but then it makes a return at the end, and I was like, hell yeah. So yeah, as far as feedback goes, the only thing that I was going to say is that there's maybe a little bit of harshness on the vocal on the top end. So I would consider either using a Soothe 2 or some de-essing to kind of clean up some of the top end on the vocal. But that's really it. That's if I'm just being picky about this track. I think everything's really fucking well done here. Yeah. Really good job. I think it's a really dope tune. Nothing bad to say about this one. Good job, AJ Skells. Hell yeah. Good job, man. With that, that's going to be the last one of the night. Calling it quits. I got to work on some mix downs myself here. Thanks to everybody who joined the stream. Thanks to everybody who submitted some tunes. Go follow me on all the things. I will be back again next Monday. Same time, same place here on Twitch, 7 p.m. Pacific time. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday night. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week.